Welcome to INAN's Student. INAN Student is a platform for law students to come here and deliver a lecture on the topic of their choice. Today we have with us law student Akshata Shelke. She is going to speak on criminal justice system. She is from KES Shri Jayanatilal H Patel College of Law. So without wasting further time, I would request Akshata to commence with her lecture. Thank you.
Hi, this is Akshata Shelke. Today we are going to briefly discuss about criminal justice system. So, without wasting any time, directly let's go to our topic. What is exactly criminal justice system? Criminal justice system is a network of institution and process designed to maintain social order, protect citizens and provide justice for victims of crime. The criminal justice system is essentially an instrument of social control. Society considers some behaviors so dangerous and destructive that it is either strictly controls their occurrence or outlaws the society. Unlike healthcare system where there is a single aim, the welfare of patients, criminal justice system has multiple and often competing aims and objectives. Criminal justice system has to attend the needs and the interests of the crime victims, but at the same time balancing the rights of defendant to the fair trial. Criminal justice system have two primary goals. One is to prevent the crime and another is to punish the offenders when there happens any crime in the society. Of those two goals, one is lot easier to gain and achieve than the another one. It is very easy to punish someone by restricting their liberty in various ways and often by fining them. But preventing crime, but stopping someone from doing any crime is a very difficult task because the causes of crime lies from the outrage of the criminal justice system. The principal objective of criminal justice system is to impart a sense of security in the people. However, India's criminal justice system has not able to deliver on what it is expected of it and is, in fact, under immense restraint. So let's discuss some problems with criminal justice system. Some of them are lack of adequate resources, ethical dimension in law enforcement, case attrition, adjudication, and so on. By all this we mean dropout of cases as they proceed through criminal justice system means only minority of crimes, minority of cases are being actually reported and registered to the police officials. So the police officials lays the changes or charges in the minority of crimes that are being reported to them and so on. Also the investigation ability is hampered by the lack of forensic labs in India. This eats into the efficiency of police and leads to delay in the investigation. At the end of the day, the sentencing court could only impose the sentence in only few cases, a very small number of cases of all the offences in the society. The very fourth point we will be discussing is crimes and offenders. Crime is a deliberate act that causes physical or psychological harm, damage or often loss of property to the society or of an individual, and it is against the law. The crime of course varies from tribunal crime to the most heinous, most serious crime, which is intentionally taking of human life also. Coming to offenders. Offenders are the people who commit crimes, who commit crimes or break the laws. The offenders also varies greatly. Their intentions, their motivation, their thinking process, their thought process, the way they commit the crime and the capabilities in the harm and etc. also differs. There are certain categories of offenders which are treated differently from various reasons. One of the good example is young offenders. Young offenders are different from adults. They are treated differently. They have developed to the time extent and any intervention in their lives are going to have much more serious consequences. So, criminal justice system treat the young offenders very differently, but many people don't understand the importance of this. The consequences of that is the criminal justice system needs discretion of professional, whether they are police officials, defense attorneys, prosecutors, or whether they are sentencing judges. They need the discretion to respect and to respond to individual circumstances and a huge variation in criminal conduct and criminal offences. We can consider those four things as a component of criminal justice system. Police officials, they are responsible for investigation and the evidence in the crime. Prosecutors are lawyers who represent the state throughout the court process. Defense attorneys, they defend the accused against the government cases. They are hired by the defendant or either assigned by the court. Sentencing courts are run by the judges, whose role is to make sure the law is being followed and oversees what happens in the court. Moving further, criminal law applies equally to everyone, but criminal justice system pays more attention to some kind of individuals and societies and groups in the society. The criminal justice system is very enormous when in the way they punish the offenders. For example, let's say when you are convicted with a serious crime in Germany, resulting, let's take for 1 year of imprisonment, but the same crime would probably get 10 years of imprisonment in United States. Now let's talk about prisons. Many people often think prisons are answers to the crime. For certain crimes, it is and it must be. But not always the prisons are solutions to the crime. Placing someone in a prison for an year costs same as placing someone for an year in a nice hotel. So we have to be very careful while placing someone or while sending someone in a prison, and for how long should he or she should be sent, simply because it costs so much money. Prison management is a state subject. Now, it is an unfortunate reality that the conditions of prisons generally make people worse. The prison conditions are not good enough for correction. There are two aspects involved in the prison: prison as punishment and prison for punishment. Where the offenders are being sent to the prisons, deprived to their family, they lose their employment, they lose their jobs, and etc. Further, there is no policy to monitor and constructively engage the interns after their release. This hinders their reintegration in the society, and we are not that good to retrain them or to rehabilitate them. When people are sent in the prisons, in some countries, they serve every day of prison sentence inside. But in some countries, the best thing is that the prison versions their rule to allow the prisoners to apply for and to serve the last portion of their sentence in the community and help them where they can make a smooth and orderly transition in them and rehabilitate of inmates to the society. So, in the closing, I would say the entire existence of the orderly society depends upon the sound and efficient functioning of the criminal justice system. Improving law and order requires cooperation of all the rule of law institutions. The criminal justice system faces challenges such as large backlog of cases, inefficiency, lack of resources, poor infrastructure, and inefficient training for personals. However, the efforts are being made to reform and improve the system, particularly to ensure the marginalized communities have better access to the justice. So yes, this brings me to the end. Thank you.
Akshata, thank you very much. It was a nice overview you had given about the criminal system, and even nice suggestions, the backlogs, whatever is there. So thank you very much. A small token from Hammurabi to you, please.